guys are having a wonderful day. It's a nice, beautiful fall day, and don't have too many things growing in my garden, but I wanted to share what I have. I've been ignoring the garden for a little bit because I was just very busy with other things. So finally, I have some time to finish up the harvest that I can before the cold season sets in. So over here I have a plant, and this plant is mainly used for the leaves. This is called in India it's called ajmo, and in US it's called Cuban oregano. It's very, 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 very fragrant and super easy to harvest. So that's what my plans are today, to harvest not all of it, but a lot of this leaf. That's what I'm going to use. I'm actually going to make some pancakes from lentil flour and Cuban oregano. So you basically take all these leaves, nicely wash them, then I just make a stack of these leaves, chop them very finely, and then I will add some chopped up onions, finely chopped onions, lentil flour, salt, turmeric powder, green chilies chopped up finely, and make like a pancake consistency dough, and then make pancakes out of it. And they are the savory pancakes. We eat them for any meal, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. It can be great. It has protein, green leafy vegetables, really tasty. And it smells very strong, but once you cook it, the flavor, it's very, very good. I mean, you can eat this in your cooking. So we make this very regularly in India. So I'm gonna try and make that here. So that's the plan for my Cuban oregano. Another thing is that all of these stems, you can see, once I harvest, I will have a lot of stems with no leaf. You can either leave it the way it is and it will grow new leaves, or you can repot these stems in another pot and it will easily grow more plants. So I might do that, bring some into the home, and I would like to have like a couple more plants of the Cuban oregano just as a backup. So in case I lose this plant for some reason, I have a second plant. Also, this is not winter hardy, so you have to bring it in the home, and it's very easy to grow this. You don't need to, like, it will root really, really fast. Like, you just need like maybe like 6 inches of nice thick stem, and you just put it in soil and it will root. I've never had any rooting problems. You don't need rooting hormones, nothing. Just good soil. You place it in and you water once a week or so, and you're good to go. It's really, really, it's like one of the easiest plants to grow. So highly recommend the Cuban oregano if you want to try it out. Now over here I have the Indian Tindora plant. So these are ready to be harvested. A little bit actually too big for me to harvest, but that's okay. They're pretty tender. I like it a little bit more thinner. They got a little too fat. I like it at this little bit more than this. Let me see if I can zoom in. This size. That's the size I prefer, but that's okay. So, and I don't have a lot of it, so it's fine. But yeah, so that's another really good harvest I will get. Quite a few in there. And I love this ivy. It's so easy to grow. Again, this is another ivy plant that's so easy to grow and reproduce. All you need is a um, little part of the stem, maybe like I would say a foot long at least, and then you just make sure you plant one of these budding nodes, or then like this type of node into the soil or water, and it will start growing roots. So very super easy to grow or reproduce this ivy. It's called tindora in India. I think over here they call it ivy gourd in US. So, and it has this beautiful pretty white flowers. It is just really cool. It does not survive outside in winter, so I do bring this plant inside. Mostly I just take these nice big thick stems like these, and I make maybe like 2 feet long sticks and place it in a big pot, and then put it in garage with a little bit soil. I don't actually water it. I want it to be dormant as long as possible because it grows very fast, and I don't want it to grow in my garage or someplace. So I keep it dormant, no care, not too much light, not too much water. And then when it's spring, I bring it out and it has all the water and light that it needs, and it just goes crazy. This year, it died a couple times, so that's why you can see it's not like crazily grown all over the fence, because I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I was cleaning out the beds and accidentally killed the plant. Really nicely grown plant. So I think that was the reason it basically had to restart growing up again. So that's why there's a huge delay. But if you grow this in springtime, it's going to be great. Over here I have basil. I'm not planning to bring a lot of basil inside. I like fresh basil, so usually I'll just take some of these branches when it's about to go into freezing temperatures and leave them in water, and it'll actually root in water. All these basil plants, if you have a nice thick stem, you can take this stem and put it in water indoors, and it'll stay fresh for at least a month. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers. You just keep it in a nice vase with water, and change the water every couple of days or 3-4 days, and it stays pretty nice. So that's how I keep my basil fresh indoors in winter, and I use it for a little bit, and then I wait until next spring. You can bring them inside pots and have them indoors like that. I just have so many indoor plants to bring in, and basil is not a very highly used herb in my cooking, so I don't need so much. And sometimes if I have like a really big need, I go to the store and buy it fresh. So over here I have a really quite a few plants of chilies. Some of the chilies plants have nicely matured, and you can see beautiful chilies growing in here. This is an Indian variety of chilies. They are spicy, not super spicy like Thai chilies, but they are spicy and they are very flavorful. I love to make green chutneys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest as many as I can from this couple of these big plants, and I will actually take them, wash them, and put it in a Ziploc and freeze them, and I'll label it with the year. And usually they are good for 2 years in the freezer. So I have had many Serranos and Indian chilies harvested, that last me a couple of years. So we do a lot of cooking with Indian chilies, and I love using the frozen chilies. They taste just the same. They have the great flavor. I think one of the easiest things to freeze is chilies. Just wash them. You don't have to do anything else. Just wash them and freeze them. When you're ready to use, you can chop it or grind it, or however your application is. So I don't pre-process the chilies prior to freezing. You could, but I don't, and it's I like it like that. That way I have different ways I can use chilies in. I have a lot of young plants here that did not get enough sunlight, because these plants of course took all more sunlight than these guys did, so they got ignored. So they are much smaller, and my plan is to bring all of these plants into a small pot and leave them indoors with not too much water, just to keep them alive. And in the spring I'm going to use these plants to actually replant this bed again and get more chilies. Chilies can be grown for I think up to 6 to 8 years. Actually, you can have the same plant produce chilies for a very long time. Same thing with eggplants. Eggplants can last very long time. They are not annual crop. So that's my experiment for this year. They are the chilies plants. Instead of growing them from seed and waiting for the fall for them to produce the chilies, I'm going to save these plants, some of these plants, smaller ones, so I can easily manage them. I don't want a huge, plant inside the house, so that's why I'm going to take all these small ones indoors. And then in spring, I have a mature plant ready to produce chilies. So that's the plan. Over here, I have actually replanted some of the blackberry plants. As you can see, I'm trying to make this into a blackberry area, mainly because my dog loves blackberries, and I have some blackberry plants next to my patio. That's where they were, and he eats all the blackberries, especially the ripe ones. So by the time we get to the blackberries, we only have a few left, and so I wanted some plants here. So all I did was, and they multiply very fast. So this is just one. I got, I think, about 10 plants, 10 really good plants from one single plant after I think 2 or 3 years. So yeah, I just moved all of those plants, every single one. That's what I thought. I moved like 10 plants here, and believe it or not, place where I moved it from, they already have 4 plants coming up, really strong and much better looking than these guys. So it's kind of almost like a weed, blackberry plant. So they'll grow and grow and grow, and it's so easy to grow. I love them. So you just need somebody who likes blackberries, and then it's very highly recommend to grow blackberries because they're so easy to grow and multiply. So I don't bring them in at all. They are very freeze hardy. Some of them will not even die. They are coming back really nicely. And some of them, they look like they're dead, and they might be, but sometimes, they might just come back. So I'm gonna leave them in. So I have some green beans growing from some seeds that were left over, and some weeds that I need to clean up. I have some Swiss chard that's basically getting eaten by the bugs, so I may have to come and spray it. I have some time, so now since holidays are coming up, more weeds and blackberry plants, and I have some some tomatoes actually coming up. I have no idea tomato plants growing at this time. And I have no idea where the seeds came from, so I'm just letting them have it. And some more weeds. So, yep, that's what that is. Over here, I have a lot of peppers, Serrano peppers, really big, giant Serrano peppers. Look at that size. Beautiful Serrano peppers. And lots of it. And I actually harvested a lot of it already. Look at this pretty Serrano pepper. This red one. So beautiful. See another one. So these are so heavy that the whole plant is actually fallen over. So this plant is going to be trimmed basically back down, and I'm going to harvest all these giant Serrano peppers. I don't know, let me see if I can show you how big they are. A really nice big plump Serrano peppers. So I will be coming over here and harvesting all of these. And then I have some bell peppers growing right there. And I have tuberoses that are now actually falling and dying. But I wanted to leave them in so they can, multiply the roots in here, and they will stay in the ground. Tuberoses are. They are very, very fragrant lilies, and they are really one of my favorite flowers to grow. So I know it doesn't look very pretty at this time because it's been quite a bit of time. It's been outside, but they are very pretty, and they're white flowers, and they're super fragrant. And they only have the fragrance at night time. So really a cool plant to grow. I got these from eBay, the roots, and I just planted them. And I got a bunch of clusters of tuberoses from a little bit of roots. So some nice, beautiful bell peppers growing. And this is my mint experiment that I grew from some stems that I had. And very easy to grow from stems. And over here I have some lemon thyme growing. It almost died and it's coming back up, thank God. I love lemon thyme. And we used that quite a bit, but I think it's being shaded out by all these pepper plants around it, so I may move it into its own location. And that's pretty much it. More peppers over here. So yeah, I don't have anything else growing at this time. I have some sweet potato plants growing that you can see every single leaf has been eaten by the rabbit. And I did harvest some of the sweet potatoes. Like I just saw some and I pulled those out, and I noticed that they were not sweet. So if you guys have any tips on how to make your sweet potatoes sweet, I would appreciate it. I don't know, they didn't taste very good. So I'm not too excited about the sweet potatoes. Yeah, so a little bummed about it because it did amazing growing the leaves, and I've not dug out much of the potatoes itself. I don't know if there are too many or not, because I found a few and I used it in my cooking and it was not sweet at all. So I don't know, I'm not too excited. I'm gonna leave it in the winter, see what happens. Maybe they get more sweeter by the time it's spring. I'm gonna leave the bed as is. No plans for sweet potatoes. And over here I have rosemary that's being covered by the sweet potato. But yeah, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We are finally getting some rain here in North Dallas, Texas, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm in zone 8B, and here is my update on my garden. Not much going on, but hopefully next fall I have more things growing. Thank you guys for watching.